Welcome to Thursday, April 28th, 2022, your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com or check out their Facebook page. Good news, bad news, good news. Kind of depends on your situation, but there's a little bit of both of these things for just about everybody in the western United States, and we'll go through that. First of all, we've got a Pacific front that's going to bring showers and thunderstorms to some areas later today, overnight especially, and into Friday, especially the northern areas of the region, as a Pacific front works its way through. We're going to see widespread rain, snow, and thunder for probably all of South Dakota. There's going to be parts of southeast Montana, southern Montana, parts of North Dakota, and for northeastern areas and northern Wyoming and central and eastern Nebraska, there's really good chances of getting some good precipitation again. It's a warmer storm than the last one, so it's going to be more wet than it will be white. Unfortunately, this is part of the bad news of this. It's going to be pretty windy Friday and Saturday. Windy for Wyoming, windy for western Nebraska, windy for Colorado, windy for western Kansas, down in New Mexico and Texas. We're going to see northwest winds kick up again Friday and Saturday. Back to good news. There's a decent chance for a small area of rain and thunder to develop late Sunday into Monday for southern Wyoming, maybe northern Utah, the I-80 corridor there, then into northern and northeast Colorado and parts of western Kansas and Nebraska. It's not going to probably get much further south than Interstate 70, but at least the northern half of Colorado, parts of southwest and western Nebraska, northwest Kansas, and southern Wyoming, you've got some decent rain chances overnight Sunday into Monday. Then another storm system moves in late Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Today's satellite photo shows very well the low coming out of Oregon here. This is a trough that's going to swing through quickly, then turn into a deep storm over northeastern Nebraska by Saturday morning. So again, taking more of that northerly route. But out ahead of this system, and as the system moves through today, it's going to instigate the showers and thunderstorms. And there you can see the low right here on the weather forecast map. As we get into this afternoon, this is the forecast of lightning strikes. So you can see kind of an arch here of showers and thunderstorms developing later this afternoon and evening. And then some strong thunderstorms may develop in Texas and northwest Kansas, then over here into eastern Nebraska and southeastern areas of South Dakota later today. And then overnight tonight, I want to show you there's another redevelopment. There's kind of two developments of thunderstorms this afternoon, this evening, then overnight. You see this right here? Well, this is actually showing some thunderstorms developing and then tracking this way. So there's going to be 5, maybe 6 thunderstorm cells that could be strong developing this evening and overnight in these areas. And you can see the Storm Prediction Center has a slight area here in parts of southwest Nebraska where there might be some severe weather with some of these thunderstorms. And it's going to be more towards evening and tonight. The green areas, more of your typical thunderstorm pattern. Tomorrow afternoon, the low swings through and is going to be headed towards northeastern areas in Nebraska. Here's that stronger northwest wind flow coming in behind the counterclockwise spin of the low. This is going to trigger widespread showers and thunderstorms in this area here, and it's going to be a busy day tomorrow of severe weather in Oklahoma, Kansas, and eastern and southeastern areas of Nebraska. The bad news, there's going to be severe weather there. The good news, those areas need rain, and they're going to get some. As we get into Saturday morning, you can see the low kind of spinning up here. Now, it's in a different place. The last 2 big storms have been right up here, so it's a little bit further south, but it's more to the east. The counterclockwise spin, this is the bad news. This is going to make Friday and Saturday windy. Quite windy in this area right here, I'm afraid. Now, is it going to be like last weekend's wind? No. But it's going to be a cold, blustery northwest wind on the backside of it. Precipitation with this first front. This is the precipitation forecast through Saturday afternoon. You can see North Dakota, South Dakota, large part of Nebraska, eastern central Kansas here. You're going to get some good rain. And I think this area here may get into some rain as well with those thunderstorms. Notice for you folks in western South Dakota, you're not in North Dakota and southeastern Montana, you're kind of more on the edge of the storm, not in the bullseye this time. And this right here is mostly going to be rain across northern Wyoming, southern Montana, and western areas of South Dakota. South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska going to get a nice shot at badly needed rain, more needed precipitation for Washington and Oregon, and again for areas of Montana. Look at that. Now this is through this first front coming on by. The second frontal system is going to track further south. This is what the snowfall forecast looks like since it's a warmer storm. It's not as cold. This does not look like a major storm producer. Maybe up here in parts of central Montana, you may be a little bit closer to that colder air and a better chance of moisture. But the snow levels are going to remain higher closer to the mountains. Here's the problem with the wind. These are predicted wind gusts for Friday and Saturday. You can see a lot of Nebraska, a lot of South Dakota and eastern Wyoming, eastern Colorado. Kind of windy again. Not as bad as the last wind events, but still a bit of a nuisance. As we get into Saturday night and Sunday, here's this next low. I call it a sneaky low because this storm definitely gathering most of the attention. But this little low comes in right behind it. What we're hoping, and we're crossing our fingers and toes, is that this system can go like this. And that's what it's forecasted to do. So let's hope that happens. If it does, we're going to get a path of another batch. This is another batch. This is different than what I just showed you. We're going to get another batch of showers and thunderstorms developing west to east, a west to east arc here across the Pacific Northwest and right through the center of the Rockies. Now, if this happens, see this area right here? This is an area where I think it could rain pretty good overnight Saturday into Monday morning. I know it doesn't show a lot here. There'll probably be more than that, but it looks like maybe northeastern Colorado, parts of Kansas, southwest Nebraska, southern Nebraska, going to see another round Sunday night, overnight Sunday, and through the day Monday with this system. And it doesn't stop there because there's another system. This is for Tuesday at noon. Another one comes in right behind it. Now, we're putting a question mark on this storm because there are two scenarios. It could take the same path as Sunday night, Mondays, or it may end up more north. So we're not quite sure on the Tuesday night, Wednesday precipitation yet, although at least there's a chance of more coming. And notice we still have that big low up in the Gulf of Alaska spitting out storms, and it spits out another one. Mother's Day weekend, this is for Saturday. This low forecasted to be over Kansas and Nebraska next Saturday. You know, it may end up over here. So Mother's Day weekend, question mark. We'll keep an eye on that for you, but we see systems coming. So there's more opportunity for precipitation. Hopefully it'll be trending further south. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll talk to you on Friday.